Roll the highlight film. You're watching Pucknology After Dark. Oh my. Yeah, oh my indeed. Holy crap. Um, just saying, if you're not gonna show up for a game, mm, you did a good job doing it tonight. Mission accomplished. Welcome to this edition of Pucknology After Dark, following a 3-1 Sharks dropping, thanks via the Buffalo Sabres because hashtag that's so Sharks. If you want to be a part of the show, and why wouldn't you? Because we love our Sharks, even if they want to suck against Buffalo. Use the hashtag Pucknology After Dark to ask questions or comment about the show. You can follow us on Twitter at Pucknology, at Puckeye14, at IReadPucknology, at Eric Landy. All right, quick around the horn here. Let's say hello to the lovely gentleman in the Great White North, Mr. Ian Reed.
Hey, it's me. Look at for all you people talking about a curse, it's not a curse when you lose a game when you play like shit. If they, played the game and actually should have won it and then lost, then you could say curse. But when you lose a game in the NHL because you just don't decide to show up, not a curse.
And let's also say hello to the gentleman down south who spells his name the right way. And I can't tell if he needs to do his laundry or not, Mr. Eric Landy.
Yeah, yeah. This is sweaty balls all over your clean laundry. That's what this is. It's just like you get that nice, clean smelling laundry, and then somebody just puts their saggy balls all over it, and you got to wash it all over again. Oh my God.
It's tasting like an extra salty version of Technology After Dark tonight. All right, so Sharks lose 3-1. Couldn't come at a worse time, to be honest. Here, they've won only once in their last four, which is not good at all. With Anaheim winning tonight in regulation, doesn't help things either. So as I pull up the standings here, the Sharks are now 4 points behind Anaheim for the home ice spot in the round one. They sit 6 behind LA, and at the moment they are all 22 games left. Oh, and look, we did have a leapfrog in the division. Vancouver, because they've won 2 in a row, are at 60 and probably thinking we should be a buyer in the trade deadline now because San Jose is coming apart at the seams. I'll start with you, Eric Landy, because I don't know where Ian went. Your thoughts on this game besides smelly laundry?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give a little bit of a different take. I put this loss on two people. First person I put this loss on is Brendan Dillon. If you had your stick on the ice, touching the ice, instead of haphazardly hovering above the ice, you would have caught that pass, and it would not have caromed off the boards. The second person that I put this loss on is none other than Peter DeBoer. You fucked up good lines that were working, and you put three guys who are not doing well tonight, not doing well in the last, let's say, 5 games. Spalling, he got his goal against Colorado, but it was against Calvin Pickard. I mean, come on now. I put the blame on him as well, because why do you get rid of the four-headed monster that is Thornton, Couture, Marleau, Tierney? I don't understand why you do that. I think that this team needs those centers down the middle to be creative. I think it needs to be. I think it needs to be reiterated that this team has an entirely different look when you've got a third line center who can score and who's a threat to score. Nick Spaulding is not a threat to score.
I agree with you on that. I mean, he scored 2 goals in a week, but that's not necessarily a hot streak in any time, even in the Sharks realm. Ian, good evening to you, sir. Before I touch up on it, your thoughts on this Sabres victory tonight?
I mean, they didn't play good. The Sharks didn't really play to their ability. And I caught what Landy was saying there, and I think he hit the nail on the head. You just messed up the lines for no reason. Why did you
Mhm.
have to go and change it? Leave, obviously Wingles is out, so put Spalling on the wing and leave the centers alone. But I don't put this on the new guys though. I don't think it's their fault. There's going to be time for them to learn to really learn the system. But I'm more mad at the guys who have been here for a while. I'm more mad at the fact, that the way Dylan bobbled that puck and then, everything kind of just goes downhill from there. I'm mad that Jones probably, I'm sure he was surprised that his defense was suddenly terrible again, but at the same time, I don't really like that goal that went through him. That second goal, I don't really fault him for. It was deflection at close range. There's not a whole lot you can do at that point when you're already, when you think the puck's going one way and it suddenly deflects another at the last second. There's not a whole lot a goalie can do there. But I mean, all in all, it just like they just looked flat. And that's all there is to it. I don't understand. Like, I didn't feel the urgency from the team, and that's the biggest disappointment to me.
And
Yeah,
that's
and
a growing concern too. Sorry.
I'm gonna kind of play off what Ian said. I think not only was it flat, but it was just a lack of crispness outside of the top line. You saw Patty and Couture not hooking up very well on different plays. Both of those guys both wanted the puck through the neutral zone, didn't know who was going to set up who. That looked like two centers who are used to carrying possession trying to fight for the puck
Mm-hmm.
on the same line. And then that third line, well, I mean, you've got Nick Spaulding, who, like I said, had a great goal the other night. But you pair him with Ward and Nieto, like that just does not make any sense. Now the fourth line with Tierney, Carlson, and Zubris, I thought looked good as well. So I thought the top line and the fourth line looked good, but the two middle lines were just not there tonight. And like I said before, I didn't like Brendan Dillon's game at all.
No.
I thought he played a pretty weak game. I thought his fundamentals were off. Like I said before, that puck doesn't come off the boards if he's got his stick fully touching the ice. And you know how coaches have always preached, keep your stick on the ice. Instead, he leaves it hovering, and it goes underneath the stick, caroms off the board, right to the Buffalo player and into the goal.
And don't forget, he missed an open net earlier, which would have made it 2-1.
Agreed, but I think that if they would have scored on that, they would have called it back. And the reason why is because I think Pavelski impeded Chad Johnson from getting back to the net. I think it was going to be one of those like Tommy Wingles-esque goals where it looked okay, but they were going to call it back. It was pretty funny because Drew Weber on the chat and Drew Weber on Twitter, he called this game right before the game started. He said it's against Buffalo. It's at home after a long road trip, and it's a backup goalie. He said this is a recipe for a loss. And I wanted to think that this Sharks team was a little different, but you know what, Drew, hats off to you because you got it right. I mean, that's what it is. You got it right.
But yeah, you guys hit it right on the head with what I was going to say. The two lines that actually played well and looked good, or the two lines that have been stuck together and have some chemistry to it. There was no need to change it all up, and it makes no sense whatsoever because now your secondary scoring went awry. It lost its pizzazz and its chemistry. I see what DeBoer was trying to do. He sees Marlowe trying to get out of his funk, so he puts Couture at center, and brings in the fancy winger Donskoy. Didn't work. Should have changed it up in the third period, especially after Buffalo took the 2-1 lead. Um, I mean, it's brain dead moves like this that's going to cost these guys in the playoffs. And especially with what happened today with all the movements, um, you got to be on your A game 24/7 the rest of the way. Otherwise, it's going to bite you in the ass, and you're going to end up having games like this. And as I put up the standings back up again, with Vancouver winning 2 in a row, don't tell me they're thinking if we can win on Sunday against the Sharks, all of a sudden they're thinking we're right back in this race. Even
Well,
though
they win
they've
all the
said
games
10
and they're
out.
tied.
Right. And that's the scary thought, too. This is their February swoon, I guess you could say, for the Sharks that we had back in December. But, this is starting to get concerning.
It's mathematically or just statistically, they're not going to lose all 5 games. I
No.
mean, if they do, then they deserve to be out of the playoffs and they deserve what's coming to them. Because it would take a meltdown of epic proportions. I mean, I think it would be more of a meltdown than what we saw against LA. I mean, LA was pretty monumental, but I mean, this would be a complete embarrassment. I think if Vancouver does catch up, and like I said before, I don't think it's going to happen, but if they do, then I think you really start kind of thinking about trading Patty, trading Thornton, trading Burns, Pavelski. I think you strip mine, because if they can't hold a 10-point lead against a mediocre ass team, then it's time to clean up shop. And I think if they do, I think DW's fired. I don't see how Hasselplattner can just sit back in his press box and watch a 10-point lead just be pissed away like that. So I don't think like I said before, the Sharks are statistically, I think it are probably at 95% to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that they allowed a 5% statistical chance to come and bite them in the ass. Now, it would sound like the Sharks if they did, because of all that they've done. But I'm not that cynical, and I'm not ready to jump off the bridge
get
yet.
A grip here.
but you know what?
The Sharks need to get a grip too.
Yeah, but I mean, so do we, though, at the same time. I mean, you can't look. It's 2 games. I know that it's 2 games against teams that we should have beaten. I don't like it any more than the next person, but at the same time, it's not. The sky isn't falling yet. It's not even close to falling yet. I think people need to take a breath here.
Yeah, I think that they had a really good road trip. I mean, they got 70% of the points, of the available points on that road trip. It was a great road trip. They come back and they had a good first period, I thought. I mean, everything up until the second half of that first period, and really it was like the last 5 minutes, thought that they looked pretty good. But clearly, as it went on, their lack of execution, the lack of chemistry, and the changes on the fly led to issues. And at this point, I think everybody can agree in this room that their fate is in their hands. I mean, it's squarely in the Sharks' hands.
Absolutely.
They don't they don't have any external forces that would take them down from a playoff spot except for their own stupidity.
Like what Molar Rat 33 said, Plattner watched the 3-0 series get pissed away and the John Scott signing being followed. Good point. I mean, it just seems very, very interesting on that realm. And if they piss this away, I think this could do even more damage to the Sharks brand and franchise than it would to the reverse sweep. Ian, what you laughing at, bud?
Just me and Kester going back and forth on Twitter.
Oh, gotcha.
Daryl Martin, at King Shark 49. If you don't already follow him, please do. He's great. He is part of the Pucknology family. He says, tonight is proof that San Jose Sharks lacks character or mental toughness to compete. DW built this mess. Like I said before, we got to put this in context, but when you score the first goal 2 times in a row and you don't come out with the wins, and you've seen how good they are with leads, it is concerning. It is concerning, and I think you've got to look at that road trip and how how many miles they trekked and all of the mileage that they logged. So you know what, you give them a mulligan on this one. I think I think you got to figure out what they are going into the next game. I think you gotta reshuffle the lines again. I think you got to go back to the 4-headed monster. Yes, 4-headed monster, Chester Chivo. I'm talking like a Hydra, some kind of monster like that. And they've got to go back with the four dominant centers up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't. I think at this point it's clear that Patty and Couture cannot play on the same line together. Both want to drive possession. Both want the puck through the neutral zone. They don't know how to feed it to each other.
And they haven't been good together in 2 years.
Yes, they haven't been together in 2 years. Haven't been good together in 2 years.
If the rumors are right, they might not be getting along with each other.
Good.
Yeah.
See you later, Logan. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah. like what Chester Chivo said. Once Patty and Nieto get traded for PK Subban, everybody will go back to being happy.
Okay, Slushy Jake keeps saying, "Ask my question." Eric, did you get a question from Slushy Jake?
Yes, I did get the Slushy Jake question.
Okay, Slushy, you've got to chill out for a minute. Slushy's Corner doesn't come in until about half an hour into the show, so relax.
Yeah.
Simmer down now.
I'm pissed off, and if you piss me off more, we're not having Slushy's question.
Yeah, AJ ain't here to stop us.
That's right, he's not here. Although I wouldn't be surprised he checked in from the tank shortly, but maybe he's busy with Zatora. Anyways,
so should we break down the NHL news? I guess that's probably
yeah. Why don't we jump on to that? In other news and in shocking news, none of us were traded to Chicago today.
That's true.
But pretty much anybody that was rumored to be on the trade deadline was traded to Chicago. Landy, go ahead and take it.
I activated my no trade clause.
I'm just glad the Sharks gave me a full no movement clause.
So who are your 8 teams, Ian? Who do you want to go to?
My 8 teams are, I would like to go to any team in Canada, and
wow, you don't want to make the playoffs then?
No, I don't. I have no interest in making the playoffs at all. My 8 teams are, the usual: New York, Detroit,
LA,
Anaheim. Yeah, the usual 8 teams.
Chicago,
Nashville.
Our photoshoppers, please get Ian in a frickin' Anaheim or LA jersey.
Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, no, you know what? That orange would look so good on you, Ian. I think that's your color. So I guess we'll start from the top. Andrew Ladd goes from, oh shoot, where was he playing? He was playing in Winnipeg. Yeah, suck a peg for a first round pick in this year's draft. Dano, who they got in the Brandon Saad trade, and a conditional third round pick. The condition being that the Blackhawks make it all the way to Stanley Cup and win. So quite a haul for Winnipeg. I mean, Dano is a let's say A- B+ kind of prospect. Mm-hmm. I think we've seen him in limited stints with Chicago, and I think he can do good things.
He just needs more time.
Yeah, I think the ask from Winnipeg was Teravainen, but there ain't no way in hell Stan Bowman, is going to be giving that up. It's Scotty's son, Stan. And then earlier this morning, we had a garbage for garbage trade, a Rob Scuderi for Christian Ehrhoff. So you have the garbage from LA going to the garbage of Chicago. Now, if they can play Kimo Timonen, 5 minutes and shelter him so well, you would think that they would be able to do something with Christian Ehrhoff, but who knows? And then finally, we have from the Montreal Canadiens, Thomas Fleischmann and Dale Weiss for, who was he for? You guys help me out with this last part.
Oh gosh, you put me on the spot here. I believe it was for
Fleischmann and
Steno
oh yeah,
in a pick.
sorry, I got ahead of us.
It's for Philip Deneau and a second round pick
Yeah,
in
Yeah.
2018.
give me a second.
So now you've added Ladd, you've added Fleischmann, and you've added Weiss. So you've basically added a star-studded third line, and you've given up two prospects who are, let's say, top out at A- level, and a first round, a second round, and perhaps a third round.
They are all in. And
That
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Number one, they already have $750,000 of overage. If any of those have a bonus, like I think Taves and Kane did that first cup run, they are in deep trouble. In looking at their draft picks, they don't have a first or second round draft pick in 2016. They have 2 4s and 2 5s. They do not have a third round pick in 2017, and they do not have a second or third round picks in 2018. Now I know they have great pickups, however, and have done great drafting in the later rounds, but however, this shit ain't gonna fly for Chicago if they don't win.
I mean,
but at the same time, they have 3 Stanley Cups. I mean, who's really bitching at this point?
yeah, and it's like the Giants, right? I mean, and oh my God, if freaking Gen X goes off on me for a Giants analogy, but you paid Barry Zito all that money.
Do it, Gen X. Fucking do it, man. Do it.
You pay Barry Zito 120 million, but you get a World Series out of it. Hey, you know what? It's money well worth spent. So going back to Chicago, it's draft picks and prospects well spent if they go ahead and they do a back-to-back miracle. I wish. I'll tell you what. If they add a defenseman, they're going back to the finals. I think that they're at that point right now.
Who in the West is going to stop them? I don't think anyone in the West can stop them.
Well,
Even as they are. Look, last year they basically went into the finals with 2 pairs of defensemen and somehow still managed to win. Like,
Right.
It's just unfair. And the thing with the Hawks is that they're just going to keep, because of the way their cap is structured and everything, they're just going to keep riding this core and just putting in little pieces underneath. And, most of the guys are picking up, they're all rentals. They're all gone off the cap again next year. That was the thing that surprised me most about the Ehrhoff-Scuderi trade was I understand that Scuderi, played good for the Kings, and I think it was 2012 where he was really good, but 2012 was a few years ago, and he's still under contract next year. So why the Kings did the Blackhawks any favor like that, I have no idea.
Yeah, and especially because if the Kings think that they're going to go on any kind of run, why would you help out the people that you're most likely to play against?
Yeah.
Exactly. If you were to say right now who would be in the Western Final, without showing our teal tinted glasses, nice segue. You would say it's LA Chicago.
Yeah. Fusion 86 saying they're going to go hard and try and move Bickle and pick up Hamuse. I heard from TSN that they're kind of backed off on Hamuse. I think after the Weiss and Fleischmann pickups, they're going to be really close to the cap. And like Eric was saying, the overages penalty is going to be really bad if anybody does well.
And
But if you
that
win, who
cap-
cares?
Right.
But
Oh,
if
I mean,
that
agreed.
Well, but if that cap goes down a lot for next season, they could be needing to trade a big player away.
I mean, but they do every year. I mean, after 2010, they had to completely gut that team. Last year they had to dump Andrew Sod. I mean, they got Marco Dano, which they for Sod, and then they moved him. But it just seems like with the players move around, it's like the guy they're missing is Brandon Sod. I don't
Did
know.
you guys just see on Twitter that Edmonton has dealt Nilsson to the Blues?
Yeah, I saw. I didn't realize it was official yet, but I did see mutterings, rumbles about that.
Well, wait a minute. I thought Nilsson was on waivers. No.
No, he was supposed to start tonight, and then he got relegated to backup quick, and then Talbot started instead. Just
There
a
was a-
quick thing. Sorry, just a quick thing here. The other player that went back to that the Dano got moved. Corey Pronman, who's the prospect guy for, I believe it's ESPN, or maybe it's SI, I can't remember. He just basically, just a quick what's what on him. He just says he's a high energy forward who's a very good skater, can PK, good hockey IQ, doesn't have great hands, probably a long-term third-line forward.
Yeah.
He's a high character guy who, he's seen him go into the dressing room bleeding and is back out on the ice as soon as he can get back out there.
How funny is it, though, that Chicago could have picked up Ehrhoff on waivers?
Yeah,
Right.
I know. Right, that was the other
But
thing.
they needed to get rid of Scuderi first.
Right, the cap. It was the cap, and
I still find it funny.
no, agreed. Chester Chivo saying, "Don't be surprised when the Western Finals is Ducks Hawks. If it's Ducks Hawks, Hawks are gonna just stomp all over them.
I don't know about that.
They're just gonna cut off the balls of the Ducks because they're like I said before. What we saw earlier in the season is the Ducks. This little run that they've gone on is a mirage. It's backed by stellar goaltending, and if you look at the way that they're playing right now, they're scoring some goals, but the goal scoring is not good. I mean,
I feel like we say this about the Ducks every year, though. The numbers, the analytics are always unsustainable, and yet there they are, 3 division titles in a row, conference finals.
Well, if you remember, Ian, we talked about this on the Pacific Division preview that if the Ducks win this division, it has to be an historic thing that if they win the division, it has to be a division winner that wins it with the cheapest goalie tandem in history.
Ever, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I totally agree. I just, you know what? I think that they're kind of going through what the Sharks went in the 2009 to 2014 season, where they'll get into the playoffs. They could win divisions. I just think that they will fall apart in the playoffs, and I don't think that Corey Perry and Getzlaf can get them to another cup without Chris Pronger and Niedermeyer.
Let me officially introduce AJ Strong, since he's come in.
Slightly
AJ,
weighted.
good evening to you. But let's continue on this. Yeah, I agree that the Ducks are like the 08-09 Sharks, where they're winning right now, but they seem like they're anticipating a back tread, or they'll be not as ready to go in the playoffs.
I don't know where this is coming from. They had a bad month, and then they had like a bad October that kind of bled into November, and since December they've been the best team in the league.
It's been scary. Okay, boys. I'll talk to you later.
Later.
It's time to finish my beer. ISO beers for the win.
All right, have a
All
good
right.
night.
Put it to you this way, guys. They have 149 goals. Edmonton goals for. Edmonton has more goals for than they do. Their defensive metrics are insane. And I want to know. I mean, and they only have a +7 differential, so they're
But they
winning.
had to dig out of a huge hole too.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is once these these games tighten up, they're not going to have a game breaker to score a goal in the playoffs. Right? If they're having trouble scoring now and they're eking out wins, just think about how much harder it's going to be to score in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I get that, and I get that. I'm not completely discounting that. I think that their lack of scoring has been because of a lack of scoring from Getzlaf and Perry, and if I just get concerned because Getzlaf and Perry are, they can sometimes show up in the playoffs and then they're scary, and sometimes, like anyone else, sometimes they have trouble. I know they had trouble with them last year when the playoffs got deeper in, but I don't know. I just think that they're a scary team with what they've done from December. Like I said, they're just the best team since December.
Okay. So then let's say that the Ducks do win the division, and then it's Los Angeles, San Jose in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not scared of that LA team. I'd rather face LA than Anaheim right now at this point.
Yeah, because the Ducks are hot and the Kings are mediocre.
And then if you get Nashville playing Anaheim, well, actually Nashville would play against the winner of the Central. If you had Colorado play against Anaheim,
they'd smash Colorado.
I don't know, man. If Colorado gets their speed game going, I think that the Ducks are kind of top heavy and kind of slow.
I think they destroy Colorado. I think Colorado's punching above their weight. The only reason that Colorado's where they are is because Minnesota's completely imploded.
Yeah, well, if Minnesota would do anything, actually no, they play Nashville. They'd play Nashville. I don't know why I thought, because they would be playing Nashville because Nashville's got more points. So it'd be the winner of the wild card would play the Pacific, because the Pacific's the lower seed, and then whoever in the Central would get the lower. Yeah, so I would say if you get Nashville against Anaheim and Nashville can shut you down, and let's say Pekka Rinne is able to get to half of the Pekka Rinne we know, I think they could give Anaheim a run for their money.
I think Nashville could definitely give Anaheim some trouble. I think Nashville's a deeper, they're a deeper team, they're a heavier team, and I think I absolutely think that they could definitely give them. I mean, the Ducks last year, they did make it to the conference final. They didn't exactly have the most difficult path there, I don't know.
Oh, but this is a team that was up, what was it, 3-1 on Detroit and pissed it away. It's the same core. I don't know.
A long time ago, though. Detroit was. Detroit's been in the East for a while now.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I am not the biggest Getzlaf Perry guy. I think first off, I'm a Sharks fan, but second off, I think that they suffer from the Joe Thornton, Patrick Marleau syndrome. Where they put up points and stuff, but when you need them in the clutch, I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying that they're, peg them with a cup. I just think that they're better than they're getting credit for because of I think, the old saying goes, it's offense wins games, defense wins championships, and there's not a deep, the defensive play on the Ducks has been unreal.
So, okay.
To go over, let's just clean up some things. Nilsson reportedly, per Bob McKenzie, is going to St. Louis. Looks like it's going to be a fourth or fifth
rounder. Yeah.
Apparently, the Sharks had some interest in him, per McKenzie and Nick Kyprios. Looks like they might turn their attention to Chad Johnson if they are to go with to trade for a backup goaltender.
Who?
Chad Johnson, the guy that beat us tonight.
Yeah, no, Sharks would get him?
And Sharks would get him, reportedly, is what they are looking at.
You know what? Why send the assets to Buffalo? Get Zatkoff off waivers. I know people are saying, "Oh my God, it's Zatkoff. Oh my God, the sky is falling." At this point, he's probably better than Stalock's .886 save percentage, anyways.
I don't want the Sharks to do anything for a backup goalie. Stalock's going to start 4 more games. Wait until the offseason. Sign one of the UFAs. There's going to be a few of them out there. I would go and get a guy like Al Montoya instead of giving Edmonton draft picks that they're gonna just waste anyway.
No. Why not pick Zatkoff off waivers?
Oh yeah, waivers fine. Yeah, if you don't pick a guy off waivers, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's on waivers. Pick him up. I mean, I think that that's the makes the most sense, and then waive Al Stalock. Yeah, I'm with Chris Edwards. I take Zatkoff for free.
For
Yeah,
sure.
he might not be Chad Johnson. However, you don't waste any assets to give him. The Sharks have no assets to give. I mean, if they want to trade a 7th rounder for Chad Johnson, be my guest. But Buffalo's going to look at Al Stalock's save percentage and go, ha, yeah, okay, don't
We
even
want a third.
Yeah, don't even come to me without a third.
Yeah.
Or a Nieto or a Wingles or something like that.
We will take your 2nd round pick in 2027.
Zatkoff's numbers, Jeff Zatkoff, who was with the Penguins, I guess he was put on waivers, is 4-6-1 with a 917 save percentage and a 278 goals against average. He's played in 13 games. His last game on the 20th, he gave up 4 goals on 20 shots in a loss to Tampa Bay.
Well, he's got 917. Is that what you said?
917 save percentage, yes.
That's higher than Jones. Have you guys seen what his save percentage is looking like lately?
Jones isn't that bad, is it? I thought it was I thought he was up to a 918. Although I guess
No, he's like 914, 912 now.
Oh well. The hell?
I mean, it's a couple of clicks, and his goals against are okay. I think it's sitting at like 2.3, or it was 2.3. But I mean, he's getting tired, guys. I mean, I don't think that we can kind of beat around the bush anymore. I think he's getting tired.
Well, and again, that's where you put the harness on the coaching staff and Doug Wilson as to get him some rest.
But
yeah, Martin Jones
916 or 919. As he was right now, it's a
916 with the 236 goals against for
That's
Jones.
pre this game.
No, that's after.
Are you sure he's got 51 games played after this game? I thought it was 52 after this.
They at least, according to StateSharks.com, have his game log in for Buffalo.
64.
I don't know.
Nonetheless,
What game was it tonight? Was it game 60 or 61?
60.
Okay. Oh yeah, then they have it in, and it's 236 with a 916. So Zatkoff has a 0.1 or 0.01. Sorry, 0.001 better save percentage.
In a much smaller sample size.
Agreed. But I'm just saying, I'd rather take a 917 than an 884. An 884 with a 2.94 goals against. I mean, it's incredible the leash that Al Stalock has been given. I mean, I just don't get why Dell wasn't called up before.
That's my point. Is that it's too late to call up Dell now because one, do you want to tank the Barracuda? I guess the big clubs comes first, and it's not like the Sharks have not always had that mantra of the big clubs comes first. But at the same time though. So you bring up Dell and he gets shelled into oblivion. It's too late. You're stuck with Stalock or Dell. Dell's never played in the NHL. So it's not like you're getting a proven commodity.
But is Dell are Dell's numbers better statistically and historically versus Stalock's numbers in the A?
I don't know off the top of my head. I
would say they are.
Guys, let me ask you this: who would you rather have going into the playoffs as your backup? Stalock, who has played a playoff game for the Sharks and lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Dell with 0 NHL experience, or Zach Hoff, who's played with Pittsburgh but never played?
I don't think it matters. I think this team isn't good enough to overcome losing Jones at any point. So if we lose Jones, it's over anyway.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
it doesn't matter who you put in net.
Yeah,
so why
if
give up
they're-
assets
But I'm
to
saying,
lose a playoff round?
but I'm saying, out of those three, who would you be more confident in if Jones were to go down? Yeah, I'm sure it's over, but let's have some.
Well, I'd take Zach Toth for free because it's all about asset management at this point. I don't think. I mean, look at the moves that other teams are making, and I'm sure it's only going to get more silly from here. You know, everyone can complain that, oh, well, look what Chicago's doing. Well, Chicago has the core where it doesn't matter what they add. That core is still a Stanley Cup winning core anyway. There's there's no magic bullet for the Sharks at the trade deadline that's going to somehow make this team a legit Cup contender, because they're not. They're just not.
Yeah, I think if anybody thinks that they have a shot at the Cup, I mean, I think that they have a shot at the Cup in a very select set of circumstances. They'd have to have so many breaks go for them to make it all the way. I mean, it's not unfounded, but it's like halfway to a miracle to get this team to a Cup.
Yeah. I mean, anything can happen in the playoffs. I mean, we've seen this before. You know, we've seen teams, you know, win the Cup that probably had no business winning the Cup. But at the same time, like, I just feel like, you know, it's about asset management, and at this point, we can't afford to give up another, you know, couple of picks when this is it. Like, Doug Wilson's jammed the window open a little bit, but at the same time, like, it's not open that wide. And I just feel like if you just keep throwing assets away, especially draft picks, I mean, this team is eventually going to have to rebuild.
Yeah, I mean, I think
we're retooling on the fly.
You can't retool on the fly forever because you need a core to do that. And our core is aging and it's becoming very pathetic.
I mean, you look at it. I mean, Chester Cheever brings it up. Hawks, Ducks, and Kings. If they all lose in the first round, then we could get to the playoffs.
Yeah, but knowing us, that's when we lose in the first round too.
Well, no, because we
played 06 against Edmonton. Top 4 seeds go out. It was supposed to be a cakewalk for us, and yeah.
I mean, was it a mistake to bring Paul Martin and Joel Ward into the fold and prop this window open? I don't think so. I think getting playoff experience for Tierney, for Hurdle, for Donskoy, for Carlson, for Couture, for the young kids, I think that that's important, right? And I think that the money that they spent was, you know, if you get them a series or two of worth of experience, it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I have a problem with is the reckless mismanagement of first-round picks, the reckless mismanagement of picking high upside but high bust capability that this team has taken in the first round on defense for years. It's when you don't draft with the draft picks that you've got and you're doing well, that's a recipe for disaster because you are not going to be guaranteed high-level prospects. If you don't have a good farm system to develop what prospects you do have, the team's not going to be restocked. And I think that the only reason why Detroit has had such a run of success is because the draft picks that they have picked and they have executed on, they were able to develop in a good system. The Sharks have had maybe mid-level to high potential, but never high-level prospects. But to make matters worse, they've had a subpar developmental system.
Right. And if they were that good, they wouldn't be in the minors in the first place.
Well, no. I wouldn't say that either. I would say you look at Sommer's winning record, and that should give you all the answers you need.
Well, exactly. That's part of my point. if the prospects were that good, they wouldn't be touched by Sommer. I mean, look. If you guys look at what we've dealt with, Vlasic
Mhm.
came up with the team right away.
Yeah.
Pavelski, I think, was in the minors for
College.
like a month after he left Wisconsin, and then came up and hasn't been since. Hurdles
Could
had Hurdles had like a touch in the minors, I think, during an All-Star break or something like that.
Yeah, Chris Tierney has had a cup of coffee.
Right,
Logan Couture has had a cup of coffee. Carlson's
right.
had a cup of coffee. Donskoy hasn't touched. Well, I mean, he's gone down for a couple games, but he's not even had a sip of coffee there.
But and yeah, I'll say Marlowe.
Well, yeah,
Marlowe
Marlowe.
hasn't been in the minors,
Yeah, so
so
Braun was another college prospect. I mean, who is the person that has spent the most time down there and actually done anything in its Wingles, right? And look how well he's done. Not so hot.
Jason Demers.
Well, yeah, and look what he got shipped off for. I just
and that's and what he got shipped off for, and we still have to pay part of his salary.
yeah, and Dr. Jackal, and that's Gen X. But he says, dude, draft to NHL is a rarity. Detroit builds through system. Exactly. This team has never had a premium on developmental systems, and for as much blowing that they want to do to Detroit as they might, they did not do the due diligence of redoing that developmental system.
Or like Moeller 33 said, Sommer's going to ruin Goldobin and try to turn him into a gritty two-way forward. They tried that with Koryliuk. You let the offensive guy do his thing. Okay. And Slushy, if you're noticing, I haven't asked your question because you keep asking to ask the question. Back to you, Landy.
And I think we've got to put this into perspective. I think the reason why we're frustrated is because we see the max potential of this Sharks team being a second round flame out, right? And you don't see that improving until you get more players or different blood into the big club that's going to do something differently than the Thornton Marlowe era has ever done. And it's just sad because there's going to be a dark period in this franchise, and it's on the horizon, man. You see that dark storm cloud coming up, and I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but after Thornton's long said goodbye, I think that this team is going to go through a Columbus Blue Jackets style of mismanagement and misfortune.
But at the rate
Well,
that
it's gonna what we're heading for is the Flames before they dumped all their management. That's what we're heading for. We're gonna head for a team that continuously plugs away assets to just hope to God we make it, and maybe we make it, maybe we don't. We never accomplish anything either way.
Yeah. No, Chris Edwards also brings up a good point. I feel like Larry Robinson should have better player development connections than what we have been seeing on our staff now. Agreed. I want to see Larry go out and find some young hotshot OHL or WHL or QMJHL coach or coaches, who put a premium on developing young talent, bringing them into the fold, bringing them into the brain trust, because having the Edmonton style of bringing on all your buddies and bringing on all of the ex-players, while it does the fans some lip service in the beginning, it only shoots yourself in the foot, because let's face it, this team has never won a Stanley Cup. These players don't know what it's like to win a Stanley Cup outside of Mike Ricci, but that was a long time ago on a Nordiques, right? He won it on the Nordiques?
The Avalanche.
The Avalanche. And so, he's the only one that's got a ring. I mean, does Doug Wilson? Nope, Doug Wilson doesn't have a ring.
Mm-hmm.
So, you don't even have any guys that are ring knockers in the front office.
Well,
So,
I mean, look what all those rings did for Edmonton, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think rings really matters. Like the thing is that if you have, there's just the problem is it's the cronyism. It's and I get it. I mean, the Sharks are a ridiculously, stupidly sentimental fan base to the point of I want to shoot myself in the face sometimes. They annoy me so much with their sentiment because they just can't help but, oh God, we got to bring Naby back and he can be the goaltending coach and blah 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 blah. And I'm tired of it. I don't care if they are former Sharks,
You know
Ducks,
what?
Kings, whatever. Just bring the best people in for the job.
Exactly, because Dirk Graham isn't finding stuff. Tim Burke, who's been around forever, obviously hasn't been finding major
No, you know what?
gems early on.
I think that his biggest problem, Tim Burke's biggest problem, is shooting for high potential, high bust picks in the first round.
Well, before it was the safe picks. It was always the safe picks before. It seems like the boomer bust has been more recent, where it was always like everything they drafted before was always like the good two-way center. Like I was surprised the year they took Goldobin over McCann because McCann seemed like more of the Sharks kind of pick over a Goldobin at that point. It was always like the what am I trying to say here? The problem is like they always like it was always the safe two-way player, or it was the guy with a good skill set that couldn't skate.
Yeah,
that was the Sharks draft picks.
Yeah, or as far as defenseman goes, it would be the big boomer or the guy with the big booming shot, but not necessarily great, the fleetest of foot, or the guy who was the most defensively sound. As a first-round draft pick defenseman. I mean, look at Petrecki, look at Stewart, look at Hannon. I mean, these are high offensive guys in junior, but what do they end up being? Well, they end up being defensive defensemen. I mean, Petrecki doesn't even pan out. Wishart doesn't even pan out. I mean, Doherty doesn't. What? Go ahead.
I was gonna say Gilson had some time, but he didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Well, when you come to like guys like Doherty, and now we've got our new project in Parcells. I mean, everyone, and this isn't something the Sharks are only guilty of, though. Everyone wants to find their Chara. That's part of the problem here. Is everyone's looking for their Chara, and a lot of teams have drafted these huge defensemen that just don't pan out. So it's not like the Sharks are alone here.
Chris Edwards. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's like that old Amstel beer commercial. If you could just stick a big old sumo wrestler in the net and just have him clog up the whole net and just have his butt stuck in the crease.
Couldn't pass a physical.
You just stick his ass in there. Who needs to fight?
So emergency goaltender. There's a couple of people that just like. Caught a serious case of stomach cramps or the shits or something and they can't go, so they have a sumo dress as the emergency goaltender. Chris Edwards goes, Ian loves McCann more than I love tacos. You know who Ian loves more than McCann? Chris Tierney.
That's true.
Yeah.
Although I am a huge fan of Jared McCann.
Although I would say I thought he liked Brian Lurg more than Chris Tierney.
No, that's Wendell.
No, that's Wendell.
I don't know.
That's Wendell.
You know that me and Ian are co-presidents of the Chris Tierney fan club. Come on,
That's
now.
true. Speaking of which, Tierney didn't really have a great game tonight either.
No, I thought he had a good game.
He's okay.
It was
Great.
okay. Pavelski was okay. All that. All right, guys.
All right,
Slushy's been good for a few minutes.
Okay, all right.
So, and welcome to Slushy's Corner. You have your first question, and here we go. Your slushy question number 1. Since the Sharks are honoring Ray Whitney on March 10th, thank God.
Time.
How many regular season goals did Ray Whitney score as a Shark? Is it A, 48, B, 46, C, 51?
Most goals in a season?
Most regular season goals did
How many regular season goals did he score as a Shark?
Wait, he would.
Nice,
It would have
wanna
been
frame
more. No. Wait, hold on. This question is not. This is not phrased right.
How many
In
regular season goals did Ray Whitney score as a Shark?
regular season over his career or just one season, right?
As
Now
a Shark.
So over all the seasons as a Shark.
Yeah.
Ray Whitney, and he's only scored in like 50 goals. Really?
As a Shark.
Sharks are pretty fucking terrible when he was on the team.
Okay, what were the answers?
They are A, 48, B, 46, C, 51.
I'm gonna go 46.
Yeah, I'm with Landy.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Yes, it's my damn final answer.
Well, you didn't win $1 million. I'm sorry.
Fuck.
The correct answer was 48 for the greatest Shark to wear 14, not named Jonathan Chichu or Patrick Marleau.
Okay, so how many seasons did Ray Whitney play for the Sharks?
He
3 or
was
4.
from 91-92 to 96-97.
And you're telling me he only scored 51? How many goals?
48 goals. He had 3 assists in the first season. He had 4 goals his second season. Year 3, which is the miracle run in the playoffs, he had 14. 94-95, he had 13. 95-96, he had 17. And he didn't have any goals in his final year as a Shark.
God damn, why did the Sharks hold on to him for so long?
Because they were terrible.
Oh.
They were terrible, and can remember this, late in his career, he was paired with Larionov and Makarov, and then when they left, they went with him, Friesen, and Nolan. Then, because that great savior coach, Al Sims, didn't like him, they kept him in the minors the whole time, let him go to Edmonton. Edmonton had him around for like 9 games, and then all of a sudden, 97-98, Ray Whitney scores 32 goals, 29 assists, 61 points in 68 games with the Florida Panthers.
You want to hear some shit? In the 4 years that he was a Carolina Hurricane, he had almost 90 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Post-Teal syndrome, I guess.
Post-Teal syndrome,
Development.
and he's a Stanley Cup winner. Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head, Ian. That's the development team right there. They also didn't sign him right away. He played with the IHL San Diego Gulls in that first year, and then the Sharks figured out, oh, maybe we should sign this guy since he scored 90 points for the Gulls in 63 games in the IHL.
Yeah.
So, all right. Question number 2.
Oh,
Your
fuck.
slushy question.
The slushy question. No, I will not have sex with Andrew Bench. Thank you.
He's not to be mentioned on this show. Who is more overrated? Artemi Panarin or Generation X-Wing?
Oh, that's tough.
I don't know. I feel like Gen X deserves his rating though. Like he might be overrated, but he lives up to that overrating in my book. Panarin's just playing, riding shotgun to the greatness that is Patrick Kane. Yeah, great for never mind. I'm not gonna go there. Yeah, I'm gonna go Panarin.
Man, no. There's just no right answer here. I think Slushy's overrated. I think this whole damn segment's overrated.
Oh, boy. All right. With that, let's move on. I think we've beaten the trade deadline to a bloody pulp. I think we've beaten the frickin' Buffalo into a bloody pulp.
All right, I got a question for you guys.
Fire.
If the Sharks had one more bullet to shoot for the trade deadline, what is the asset that you go after?
I would say I would go after a. Well, you already filled your number 6D. I would try to find some scoring for your second line and send off Nieto because you know you're going to get rid of him at the end of the year. Because, I mean, Torrey Mitchell 2.0 hasn't been an upgrade.
Agreed. I think you do go after a second line center or second line winger. How about you, Ian? You had one more bullet to spend.
I have one more bullet to spend. Can I get a new front office? Can I trade for a new front office?
I'd like to trade. I'd like to trade Doug Wilson and our second round pick, our only remaining top 3 pick, for Stan Bowman.
For Stan Bowman.
Actually, you know what?
I think you're onto something here. Because the Niners almost traded Harbaugh. So let's see So how this phone call would go. All right. Hi, I'm Doug Wilson. I'm willing to trade myself to the Chicago Blackhawks for Stan Bowman. In exchange, it'll be myself,
A second round pick, and a slightly used Mirko Mueller.
A slightly used Mirko Mueller.
and as a special bonus, we'll throw in one of our fancy Stadium Series jerseys because we know you have too many outdoor game jerseys already.
Oh, and by the way, whoever says that Chicago's outdoor jersey is good looking, I'm looking at you, Greg Wyszynski. You're high. Chicago's outdoor jersey looks like shit.
Well, since we touched up on jerseys, because you know that's one of my favorite things to talk about, out of the 6 that we've seen this year, which was your favorite outdoor jersey this season?
I don't even think I watched an outdoor game this year. That's the honest to God truth.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I'm gonna say, personally, it's gonna be what we see tomorrow in Detroit.
Yeah, you know what?
Detroit's outdoor jersey looks sick.
That's the first thing that came to my mind, so I'm gonna go with that.
Because Colorado just has the white jersey with the blue little thingies here, and it has the C for Colorado. You know, Boston's was like, we're black. We have some yellow highlights to it. It's okay. You know, Montreal's was pretty cool. I liked how they had a retro look to it. Minnesota and Chicago just looked like they were thrown together at the last minute.
Chester Chivo, I'm sorry, Eric. Chester Chivo says Sommer and a first for Ehrhoff. But
are you freaking high?
Ehrhoff's gonna coach the team.
Yeah, he's gonna be a better coach than Sommer is. He probably get a Calder Cup before Sommer.
Wait, Ehrhoff's coaching the Barracuda?
Yeah, you don't want him to play.
Yeah, he wouldn't play.
Oh, hell yeah, do that deal.
He might have a thick German accent, but you know what? It's okay. Chris Edwards brings up a good forward though, Yuri Hoodler. But what are you going to pay for him in division? You know that premium's going to be high. You know because.
Well, is it though? Because like with Calgary, how long does he have left on his deal?
I don't know.
I'll see.
I'll float that up. One guy I was thinking, and maybe it's because I've listened to too much TSN 1040, Yannick Hansen.
Yeah, Yannick. Verbata. I'd take Verbata.
No, you know what? I don't think so. I think Yuri Hoodler is a UFA at the end of the year. I don't think that's going to cost you anything because it's not like Calgary's making the playoffs.
He does have a $4 million cap space, though.
Well, yeah, there's that.
There's that, yeah.
There's that.
Okay, so back to Jersey 101. So Minnesota is bland. Chicago is bland, and it kind of almost looks like, just bad. Detroit, the D's kind of cool. I don't like the white stripe going through it. Montreal's was hideous. I guess it's either between Detroit or Boston, and I probably go Detroit because it's the one that makes me want to throw up the least. I mean I really it's like
it's just a tough one, but like Chris Edwards is saying, Calgary retained some salary and then you send Winkles and a prospect. I think that's a little too much, but I would say Calgary needs to retain some salary and you send Nieto.
Whew. No, you sent Wingles. Wingles and all his brokenness.
But if he's not ready to go, then he's not gonna get out of here.
Yeah, but he's got time left, which means he's got term left. So Wingles would actually play for them next year when he's healthy.
Yeah, but do you want Wingles in the division?
I don't care. I don't think Wingles is that great.
No, but he's gonna hit the shit out of everybody.
I don't
Well,
care.
here's my thinking. Why don't you send Nieto and a 4th-round pick to Vancouver for Yannick Hansen? He still has 2 years left on his contract at $2.5 million.
Because I like Nieto in the bottom 6.
What?
I think Nieto's. Yes, I don't think Nieto's a fantastic scorer, but I think his defensive play is criminally underrated.
Yeah, but he gets knocked off the puck like nobody's business.
I don't know.
He
I
gets
don't
knocked
think
off
he's-
the puck more than I get made fun of my AOL connection.
Yeah, and that's a lot.
Exactly. So
I don't know.
well,
But
it'll be interesting to see. And Nieto and Wingles will probably be the two guys that I think are going to be in play. Maybe Stalock if they can get the right guy.
I'll put it to you this way, and going back to the jersey talk one more time.
Okay.
I take the New York Islanders black third jerseys over any of these Stadium Series jerseys. They're that bad.
Oof. That's tough because I can't stand that New York Islander jersey.
I'm telling you, it's better than any of those crap Stadium Series jerseys. And that New York jersey almost looks like a Stadium Series jersey.
You know what was cool was the Islander Stadium Series jersey,
Yes, that was cool.
and so
Bring
are the
back
Penguins.
Fish Stick guy.
Fish Stick Guy is awesome. I love Fish Stick Guy.
If they didn't put the waves in that jersey, that logo would probably still be around. I'm just saying. All right, so we've covered everything else. Well, let's talk about an opponent we haven't seen in 356 days. The Vancouver Canucks and John Shorthouse on the Canucks Radio Network.
You do that so well.
Thank you.
Anything but a win is a loss in my book. Literally. I mean, if they lose to this team, I'll staple my balls to the wall. Okay, it's that bad. They better win that game. Hey, Chris,
I don't need to see that visual.
Chartier and O'Regan, don't touch them. They're like the only centers we've got. Okay, like I don't get this. No, don't touch the farm. It's fine. It's finally growing back. Don't touch it. God, DW, just resist the habit of trading your best prospects, okay? Please, just read. I don't want fucking Craig Rivet 2.0, okay? Or fucking Bill Guerin or fucking Campbell. I don't just don't touch the farm.
Chris Edwards, you hit it right on the head. Landy getting his John Madden with anything but a win is a loss. Boom.
Chris, okay, all in, yeah, but this team is not not doing anything. It doesn't make sense to go all in on a pair of twos, right? Like it's blackjack, and you got a pair of twos, and you're pushing all your chips in because you think you can bluff the rest of everybody else out. But then there's a guy named Stan Bowman across the room who's got a fucking full house. He's sitting on everything, and he says, "Okay, I'll take that bet." He puts down his nutsack. Oh, yeah, you got ripped apart.
Okay, we need to calm down with the nuts.
Chris is like, Eric doesn't realize I'm fucking joking.
Pissed
Um,
at you, Chris.
but thank you for reminding me I need to watch Fuller House once we end the show tonight. Um, Ian, your thoughts before we start to get out of here.
I don't want to get out of here. This is awesome.
We can keep going.
Let's keep going all night. I'm staying on all night, people. You guys
right.
just hang out with me. I'll be here all night.
Pucknology
Let's-
After Dark
let's-
marathon.
Let's watch Eric and Landy lose it even more.
You know what? Let me think. What do I think about this game against Vancouver? Yeah, we beat Vancouver. We're gonna lose against Vancouver. Come on, let's everyone simmer down a little bit. It's 2 fucking games. I realize we're upset because the teams that we lost to, but it's 2 fucking games. We just finished a road trip where we got 7 of 12 points. The world isn't ending. There's no way in hell any of these teams in the Pacific are coming and taking the third away from us. The second's still very much in play for us. Hell, first is very much in play for us. It's everyone needs to just relax.
We will.
Martin, inspirational quotes. Anything but a win is a loss.
That's right.
And
Anything but a win is a loss.
Anything but a win is a loss, and I will staple my balls to the wall if Vancouver wins.
Balls to the wall. Balls. To
I
the
said I'd quit life if Carolina won, and I'm still here somehow.
It's amazing. It's amazing how this happens, but I don't know how. Oh boy.
I was in keys to the game the other day. I had like the best keys to the game ever on the Pucknology account. I'm gonna go scroll back and find it.
I don't know if this is true, but the USA National Miss Wisconsin has just retweeted anything but a win is a loss.
Nice.
Wow, nice job. Yeah, all right, Landy coming on fire with that. All right. So this begins the 33-day stretch. We will play Vancouver 5 times. It is the last game before the deadline. I can't see anything happening tomorrow or the day of. It'll be a very interesting game. I certainly look forward to it. I think we'd be doing a disservice without saying, if you need a pregame show before Brody Brazil comes on, we highly encourage you to go listen to TSN 1040. Their guys over there are amazing. Of course, we'll be back here after the game. And remember, that game is a 4 p.m. start. So we'll be on roughly around 6:45 p.m. on Sunday night for that
Day
game.
fade.
Yeah, and
Get your drink on early.
there might be some award show on it roughly around the same time. Don't watch it. Just watch us, okay? Seriously.
Well, how will I see a tribute to tributes if I don't watch it?
Seriously, really?
No.
Yeah.
What did I do? What was the St. Louis game where I took over the Pucknology account and had my cliches of the game? Number 1, pucks in deep. Number 2, play a 60-minute game. Number 3, score more goals than the opponent. 3 goals, 3 keys to victory right there. I'm done. Hire me, TSN.
And yes, Gen X, I do have a red stapler. It's sitting on my office, or not my cubicle, like an office space. My mom knows that I love that movie so much she gave it to me as a Christmas gift. So. So when did Daryl Martin become Miss Wisconsin?
Nobody did. Miss Wisconsin retweeted that.
I didn't see this.
It's in my Twitter feed. It's legit.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
I saw it on the internet. It's got to be true.
So a few things before we wrap this up. Next Saturday, because now I think we can say next Saturday now, close enough, right? Okay, good. Next Saturday, Sharks tweet up. We'll kick off at, I believe, let's see, it's a 7 o'clock game, so at 5:45 when the doors open, we'll go over to the Sharks Foundation kiosk, which is outside section 118, 120.
Landy will be there.
Landy will be there. I will be there. AJ will be there. Not sure Chris will be there. Gentry will be there. Uh, so in other words, we're not sure who will be doing the show that night. We keep hearing speculation that Ian might be stuck with Gen X and Chester Chivo. Oh Lord, help us!
That's the matinee game, eh? Mm.
So it'll be very interesting to see how that goes down.
Uh-oh.
What?
Is Rocket going to the game?
Rocket. I don't think Rocket is going to the game.
Oh, so it could be a teal tinted takeover, right? Because you could get
we could.
Wendell on. So
Yeah,
teal tinted takes over Pucknology After Dark.
And Gen X, yes, buttons. Oh gosh, Landy, kind of go through the story of the infamous buttons here because I was about to lose it with Cafe Press.
So yeah, basically, Cafe Press were being dicks because they finally flagged Puck Guy's bubble with the little shark third jersey logo, the little fin sticking out, the triangle fin. He had that inlaid into a talk bubble, and he'd used that for multiple tweet ups. And this year they just decided to be dicks out of the blue and say, you can't use that. So then he did variations of the old Finn logo, of the 25th anniversary logo, of... Shoot, what other logos did you use? Some other logos, too.
I used the 10th anniversary logo, too.
10th anniversary logo, yeah. And still, nada. So we've got a cool new tweet up button this year. It is a...
Very, very cool. I'm trying to load it up as a special spoiler alert, but it's not quite working yet. So keep talking, Landy.
Yeah, it's totally original. So, try as they might, Cafe Press could not block this one. And, it looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm going to wear it. So, if I'm going to wear the piece of flair, then everybody else should. Chester Chivo, thank you for the Office Space reference right there. I got that.
But you should go to the March 5th game. Obviously, we have the frickin' oh boy, H is here. This should be interesting.
Well, no, it's just that I heard Landy saying something about logos, and I was like, wait, what? What are we talking about logos?
We're about to unveil the tweet up button.
This is where we can't have nice things.
I'm assuming that you're not going to show them the one that we all loved. We're going with the one that we were forced to use.
Yes, this one right here.
But Eric, we can't see the whole button. We can only just see the middle of it.
Well, close enough.
Okay, well, I guess it's a
you have to
little
see the rest of
tease.
it. Yeah. You have
Oh
to
no,
see
that's
the
a
rest
late
of it
game. I
later.
got that.
So some person named I can't even. I don't know.
Come on, do it, dude. Do it. Fucking try to pronounce it, man.
Jacque.
I said
Jackie.
pronounce it. Don't.
Jackie. Okay, Jackie Georgia retweeted anything. I can't even say it. It's so Madden-esque. It's so good. Anything but a win is a loss. That's one of my fire moments on this.
Well, I saw Daryl retweet that as well. So.
Yeah, it was apparently.
Yeah, my bro Brett here is going. That's deep, man. That's fucking deep.
Yeah, there you go.
And now
that's the kind of deepness you can come to expect from Pucknology After Dark.
Yeah,
that's right.
Huge depth.
And
we go way
with Eric Laundry.
That's the kind of depth that you find only on the Sharks' blue line.
Oh,
too soon?
Yeah. Hey, you know what though? It's gotten better because Scott Hannon's retired. Come on, guys.
I don't know. After tonight, maybe we should bring him back.
I hear Douglas Murray's available.
Wow, this is sounding like a Pucknology After Dark that should have ended 10 minutes ago. But go ahead.
Oh no, Ian wants to go all night long.
Yeah, I'm going all night.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll catch you in the morning then, bro.
Right, sounds good.
And Gen X just put the cherry on top. Yeah,
Oh,
no.
what a fucking shocker.
Yeah, no. Anything but a win is a loss.
It's true.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
You know?
Yeah, no. You know?
Oh boy! And crazy enough, 19 people are still watching this thing.
I have no idea why. I mean, at least we actually
I
kept it
know
to
why
hockey
they're
this week.
watching. Dude, we all know why they're watching. It's because they're all doing a fucking count for Ian for later.
The fact that you took so much time to do that was hilarious. And then the funny part is we were doing a Pucknology after dark right away, and he comes on. He's like, shh, come on, guys, don't say anything. He's right there.
Well, don't say anything, but I'm working on a little something.
No.
I'm working on the show that they're going to post when they have their week off.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
So let's call
Take her
it.
home, Eric.
All right. So March 5th, Sharks tweet up. March 24th is the NHL Ties World Tour / Star Wars Night. Yes, they finally figured out to have a Star Wars Night at the Tank. March 28th is the social media night. April 9th is the fan appreciation night. That's the night that we are telling everybody to reveal your teal.
I'm actually wearing that shirt right now as we speak. I just happen to have a hoodie on over it, but I'm wearing that as we speak. Yeah. And I think we can all agree that on March 24th, if that motherfucker shows up with just a dimple slightly out of place, we're roasting his ass.
I just hope Brody can do the game from the tank that night.
I think he will make a point to do so.
Yes. All right, with that, make sure you subscribe down below for Pucknology After Dark when we are on every game. Make sure you go to pucknology.net for all your Sharks news and information and opinions. We will be all over the trade deadline like I am with poutine.
Cheese curds, really?
Oh, dude,
You
they
have
have
no idea how
Oh my God,
good clogging your arteries is.
Smoke's Poutinery in Berkeley is just amazing. It will change your life forever.
Oh, also keep tuned in to the Pucknology Twitter for more inspirational quotes by myself.
Yep.
Oh man.
And
And
big TTG announcement coming up. Not ready to make it right now, but coming.
Oh,
Soon.
you're such a tease, Ian.
I know.
God.
I need to make sure. I need to put some ducks in a row before I can announce it.
Okay. With that, we'll also send. Hate to end on a low note, but we also like to send our condolences to Barracuda play-by-play announcer Eric Lindquist, who lost his dad earlier this week. He didn't make the games in Bakersfield, so our thoughts with his dad in this tough time. We hope you are doing well, and hope we are with you in this tough time. All right. Till then, for Eric Landy, for AJ Strong, for Ian Reed, and the entire staff here at Pucknology, which includes Thomas Owen, Gentry Alexander, and a host of others.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would say.
All right. As we're going off the air, Gen X.
A fart only stinks if someone else smells it. Eric Landy.
Wow.
That's a little bit of a madnism, but all right. With that, keep it real, keep it fresh, keep it real fresh. Good night.